be exactly what you want to be without all of the fear around you. We have to stand up together. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Jason Sisneros, and you have stumbled upon or purposely brought yourself to a show called Built to Exit. With me, your humble host, Jason Sisneros. What do we do here? For those of you that are brand new, what do we do? What do we talk about? Interestingly, today we're going to be talking about, some really cool stuff in the private equity world. Those of you that are prepping your companies up for sale, but overall in general, who ends up here and then staying here is a business owner that realizes one thought and one thought only. Everybody exits. Okay. Everybody exits. If you own a business, everybody exits. There's only 3 ways to exit. Involuntary, which is a failure. I had 3 of those, right? You go out of business. It's involuntary. They come in, shut your business down. Multitude, 95% of companies end up in that very position, involuntary exit, right? Not fun. Not fun. I can tell you that from personal experience. I crashed 3 businesses, went through a divorce, went through a massive depression, had to claw my way back out of $2 million of debt, a ruined reputation. All of my journey that I thought I was going down just went out the window because I had tied so much of my identity to my business, which is where I learned a very valuable lesson that says, I am not my business is not me. That really helps when you make that distinction, because ultimately you're going to build something that you're going to exit, right? And which means that you need to build it into a machine. That machinery creates profit, and what's called the magic term is called free cash flow. That free cash flow allows you to pay your employees if you love them. It helps you to donate to your favorite charity if you want to. It helps fill your retirement fund. If you want to, it helps fund your next business if you want to. Whatever it happens to be for you, that free cash flow is the magic output number from a machine called a business. Now, the second type of business is, it's a little better than the first one, but it's called a dictated exit. That dictated exit means that you as a business owner who has worked your ass off for 15, 20, 5, 10, I don't care how long it is, but you built it into something that somebody else actually wants to acquire. Now, in that instance, you go and you're like, okay, I want to sell this thing. And you sit across the table from somebody who knows what they're doing, or even worse, who states that they know what they're doing. And I'll preface this comment right here, right now, with this comment, because I've seen it all over the place, especially for my brothers and sisters in the home that own home services businesses. Every jagamo on the face of the planet, when they get off of work at McDonald's, no shade on McDonald's workers at all. But what I'm saying is they get off of work and then they're now buying businesses. Hey, here's the post. Okay. You can look out for it anywhere. Hey, those of you that are in the HVAC business and this business and plumbing and blah, blah, blah. Well, those of you that are in that stuff, make sure you reach out to me. Because I'm looking to buy businesses. And then you look in their history and you go, what kind of business have you ever bought? None. Or maybe you sold, bananas, or maybe you, whatever, but they were not in your particular area of expertise. And I want you to make sure, especially to those of you that when you read those posts, because you see them everywhere. It's like every single day, the guy or the woman that was selling advertising, like, oh, we can build your funnel for you. And then they go from that to, oh, we can sell your house for you. And oh, we can blah, 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 all the way down the line. And then all of a sudden now they want to buy your home services business or your company at all. This dictated exit, I'm getting to a point here, because you could go to your Facebook right now and scroll and you will find somebody talking about exiting or acquiring or M&A, which is mergers and acquisitions. I said murders and acquisitions, which it kind of actually is murders, because people that don't know what they're doing murder businesses that were previously living. But you could go down and you can scroll that. And about 100% of those people are going to be completely incompetent at being able to buy your business. Now, what does that mean? And I've got some stuff from Harvard that we're going to jump into. We're going to jump into what private equity does. But when I start talking today about private equity, what I'm talking about is real private equity. What I'm talking about is people with real money, real experience, the ability to be able to take what you've built and elevate it, not take it, strip it, crash it, fire everybody, sell the assets, or act like they know what they're doing and have your reputation go down the tank for what you've built. By the way, with you carrying 80% of the note, so you got a little bit of money up front and you're going to have to perform for it. There's a lot of different ways. Stay the hell away from these people. Run as fast as you can. Do due diligence. Okay. I'm in this space. Okay. But I don't buy every business. We're in like 3 or 4 verticals right now, my wife and I, and we're really, really good at it. We also have a company called Built to Exit that helps business owners. It's really one of the only sell-side advocate companies in the world that helps the business owner, multiply that pot of gold. If you have a pot of gold, 50% of it goes away. Your pot of gold is your business that you own. 50% of that pot of gold goes away because whoever you're dealing with is in a hurry to sell your business. You're inexperienced and they're in a hurry. They're in a hurry to be able to flip that business, get rid of it, blah, blah, blah. So your multiple is going to be about half of what it's worth, which means out of $1 million, let's say, $500,000 goes away because nobody on that team really gives a shit about you making your money. Everybody attached to the sale of a business, they're interested in making their money, which I have no problem with, because there are some professionals and a lot of professionals that I actually send people to when it's not our area of expertise. There are people you can trust, but 99% of the people that are posting on Facebook that they want to buy your business are full of shit, and they're going to run it into the ground and they're not going to pay you what it's worth. And you're not going to get the money, and that business is going to tank long term. It's not just Jason Sisneros saying this. This is Harvard University, Oxford University. There's a lot of different pieces of research that are going on in that private equity world right now, because people who were shysters in the funnel business and shysters in, some other kind of, they had a label, or they had a brand, or they were in branding, or they were whatever it is, have now shifted over because the only money that exists is people actually cleaning toilets and fixing pipes and fixing air conditioning and those kind of things, which, by the way, I said 5 years ago that you should get into those businesses and stay in those businesses. 5 years ago, I'm about to put I do this about once a year where I play years before what I'm suggesting people do. And just like clockwork, here we are. But dictated exit means that you're sitting across the table from somebody who knows what they're doing. Okay. They know what they're doing. And so and you really don't, because you've never sold another business. No shade there, but you've got to learn. Okay. We can help you on the sell side. There's other people that in this business that can help you, but do your damn due diligence. Please, if nothing else, do a Google search and a freaking LinkedIn search. That's the laziest way for you to do due diligence, to find out if people are actually in the business that they say and that they've ever had any history. If somebody has never bought a home services business, they've never run a home services business, they don't have a history of buying or selling or running a home services business, do not waste your time in conversation with any of them that want to coach you, guide you, buy you, negotiate with you, for you, introduce you to anybody. Don't waste your time. Okay. Very emphatic on that point, because I'm watching a lot of good people get their hopes up and then dashed, and then the cash flow that they did build for themselves goes away because assholes come in and say they know what they're doing and say that they have the money to do what they're doing, and it falls apart. We are in the middle. We're known for fixing shit. My background, my reputation, my nickname in the business is the architect, because I've architected recoveries. I'm a turnaround specialist by trade. right? And that just gave me the right skills to be able to end up for myself, not for the whole world as a guru, but for myself to buy businesses, turn them around, sell them, and form a lot of really great relationships with private equity firms. Know exactly how they buy from people, how to buy a business and structure it purposely and perfectly for acquisition from people who know how to take that asset and turn it into a better asset. That's the stream. And there's more people like me. I'm not the only one. Most of you are not my clients that are watching this, but most of you, almost all of you that are watching this own a business and can benefit from these Saturday conversations that we have. Most of you aren't again, like I said, my client. You've got to be willing to be in this third category. Dictated exit means somebody's going to kick your ass in the purchase. At least they take your business, but at the end of the day, make sure you're dealing with experts, not fake experts. Due diligence will tell you which is which. Okay. The third kind, the people that are our ideal partners, we're only looking for 600 of them over the next 5 years, are people that want to custom tailor their exit. They're willing to slow down, do the work, get prepped up for exit. Even if you want to own your business for another 20 years, it's always best practices to have your business set up in a way that somebody wants to acquire it. Okay. And so that's really the people that we help. Okay. We do that. My wife and I are involved in that right now. Currently, we have a division that buys and sells companies on our own. We are a private equity firm on one side of our business. We also have the consulting side with Built to Exit, and we own pieces of businesses and, on and on and on. But we're in the game, right? So we understand what's going on with AI. We understand in all industries, like what the fears are, what you should be looking for, what the advantages are. How do you meld in? This week, I'm going to be posting an interview with one of the top AI game-changing technologies that's out there that, through third-party testing is just going to blow NVIDIA and anybody else that you've seen away. And again, for purposes of full disclosure, my wife and I are shareholders, and we're also authorized representatives of that company. But that interview is going to come out, and you're going to hear from a genius what's coming, not just on their company that they built and the advancements that they made in AI, but how to look at AI in general. So we're looking at those kind of things. We're having to deal with tariffs in some areas. We're having to deal with like who's, the president, like everybody, and all of those things, because we're in it. That's who you want to find, is somebody who's done it, did it successfully, has some track record, and maybe even is doing it now. That's all I'm saying for those of you that are new to the show. Hi, my name is Jason Sisneros, founder and chairman of Built to Exit, a world-class business consulting firm that's helped hundreds of clients and thousands of business owners fix, scale, and successfully master their companies. Let me ask you a question. Are you serious about changing the direction of your business, but you don't have the funds to bring in a high-level consulting team? Well, then keep watching. We created the Built to Exit system specifically for entrepreneurs like you. Whether you're a startup trying to avoid costly mistakes or a seasoned owner stuck in a plateau or a downturn, this do-it-yourself system is your answer. Now, this course isn't easy. It's not a gimmick. It's not sugar-coated motivational feel-good fest if you know me at all. It's a graduate level masterclass built from decades of business ownership, consulting, and real-world results. If you're willing to do the work and follow the blueprint we use with companies that pay us 5 and 6 figures, you will finally have a system that gives you time freedom, financial control, and a clear path to a successful exit. So if you're serious about building a business that works with or without you, go to www.b2xsystem.com right now, because everybody exits. The only question is how. So 15 minutes in, and we're not even into the content of the show. So that's what this show is about. Custom tailoring your exits. You're going to learn a lot, even if you're not one of our clients or we never do business together. This culture and this group of people, the people that you're watching with online right now, the people that come to right after this, we all go over to Twitter. to my personal Twitter, which is at the J Sisneros on X. I'm sorry. And you'll find the post right at the top, and it's called the After Party, B2X After Party. We all go over there after I do this content and after I do the show. You all meet each other. You have questions. We celebrate wins. We talk to each other. We get to know each other. There's a lot of people in that group that do business with each other. It's really just an environment where you don't have to watch your back, where somebody's trying to screw you over or sell you some shit every single 15 seconds, right? Great group of people, curated over years and years and years. And it stands alone and apart from a lot of these other fake ass, pitch from stage, bullshitty groups of people who they switch. Those are the switchers. The ones I was selling, funnels, and now I'm selling marketing. Now I'm selling this, and now now all of a sudden they're acquisition people. Stay away from them. Okay, cool. So let's get into, now that you're here, you're like, oh my God, this guy talks really fast. And, somebody suggested I come and watch this. We're going to get into the content, but now as you go into the content, you're going to be better prepared, because you're going to go, oh, you know what? I really do want to be one of the ones that custom tailor my exit. I want to start now, even if that's 5 years from now. I want to start now, even if I was going to do it some other way. I want to start now with getting ready to prep. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to keep that gold pile for myself, because you, as the business owner, should never abdicate. Give over your power to other people because they know more than you, because they use fancy terms, because they talk about scaling, and and they've got the fancy marketing bullshit down. You have to, like with your health, advocate for yourself, because most of the people in the marketplace who are going to talk to you about helping you to scale, build, optimize, sell, exit, merge, all of these things have their own agenda. You have to know your agenda, and if their agenda aligns with yours, now you've got a good conversation. Now you're educated, and you can delegate to your team what you want to see happen with your company. Your responsibility. It's yours, okay? Because as we go into this, everybody exits how matters, and you want to custom tailor your exit for you and your family to live your end game with the free cash flow that you build up with your business. Okay. So let's jump into it. Okay. Here is the private equity playbook. I'm just going to lay it out in simple terms. Now there's there's other complicated things that we're going to talk about, or that you need to dive into with your business, but this is the overall in general playbook. Okay. And we really, really want to, make sure, sorry, I'm adjusting here. We really, really want to make sure that you understand what that playbook is. And then you can not only defend yourself against it, but you can also figure out how to align with it, which is what I did in my big exit, right? And now I know from that, I had a involuntary exit times 3. I crashed 3 businesses, full disclosure, right? I'm very open about that. It's in my book. It's on every podcast I've ever said. And then I had my dictated exit where I got my ass handed to me. It took 3 years to get my money. I probably got about half of what I should have. And then I was like, I had that same epiphany that you're having right now, that I want everybody exits, how matters. Oh shit, I need to learn what they're doing to acquire. What are they looking for? And then I will take the asset called a business, and I will structure it in a way, obviously for the business to be successful, it has to fall in love with the outcome of a group of people that now have built up an entity that somebody else wants to buy. Now I'm going to custom tailor it for the next owner of my business. That's what I did. And then I was like, oh, that's great. So now that's what I've done ever since. And we've helped a whole bunch of other people do that as well. So let's talk about what everybody else is talking about. You hear this commonly. I did a show a while back about, boomers are the greatest transfer of wealth. You hear that all the time. The greatest transfer of wealth, in history is now happening. I say that's bullshit. It's the greatest theft of wealth is happening right under our nose. And it's happening because nobody knows how to sell. Like, Again, there's good private equity companies. I know them. I know the people. There's people that are great at being a broker. Not many, but there's people that are great at helping you prep up for sale. Not many. But for the most part, let's say that you are a boomer and you're like, okay, I don't have kids that want to buy this. Let me package it up and I'll sell it to somebody else. It's just poof. It goes away because it doesn't sell. Less than 7% of companies ever sell. Less than 7% of all companies sell. And you've heard me say on previous shows, you've heard me say that even when your company sells, I want to slow down and make this impact because as I've said in prior shows, I can't believe this number, and I'm looking it up. I want to read it straight from Harvard Business. Where did we go here? I want to read it straight from Harvard Business. The statistic. Okay, here it is. Okay, and I've told you guys in prior shows, I've said I can't get myself to say that of the 7% that do close. I've said constantly, I'm like 50%. It's even hard for me to say 50%. 50% of those that close fall apart post-close. Here's Harvard Business Review. You can go look at this statistic. They cite rates averaging between 70 and 90% for deals failing to achieve their expected value or even close. Even with recent improvements attributed to better integration strategies, the success rate is still only around 10%. Think about that for a second. That is unbelievable to me. So what you're talking about is of the 7%, 95% of companies are going out of business, right? 7% of the businesses that get listed on Biz Buy Sell and all these other places that people, they're just going to automatically put it on a website and sell it for you. Bullshit. A lot of work goes into actually properly prepping your company for business or for sale. And then also a lot of know-how in being able to accomplish that sale. Obviously, Harvard Business Review, not Jason Sisneros, Harvard Business Review says that about 10% of those businesses that actually go through and they do the due diligence and they get to the other side and they've signed some paperwork and all of a sudden I can walk away and I go, oh my gosh, I sold my business, right? And I get my first payment. And I look at that payment and I go, yeah, it's $200,000 of a $2 million sale, but it's the accomplishment. And, I get to do that. And literally almost immediately it falls apart. We're in the middle of 3 or 4 of those right now, putting them back together. The people that built them for 20 years, having some shysters come in and steal because they acquired it. They started selling immediately the equipment. They started taking the deposits from businesses and putting them in their pocket and shipping those profits offshore and not delivering to that person and indebting the company, buying brand new cars, all of it. We're right in the middle of 3 of those right now. So don't tell me this shit doesn't happen. We're repairing those, attempting with all our heart and soul to put those dreams. That's the end game. We're talking people that are in their 70s and 80s who trusted the wrong asshole on Facebook that said, oh, I don't have any history. I don't have any experience. I don't have any whatever. They don't say this, right? But what they say is, I want to buy your business. I've got some money. I've got some expertise and I want to take it over. And then you go, because most people that are running businesses, they're very trusting in other people. They're, especially in your 70s and your 80s, these baby boomers, they have a lot of trust and they go, oh, you say you've done this before? Cool. They forget Google. They forget LinkedIn. They forget, look for lawsuits, for crying out loud. Like, Google somebody's effing name and do some background checks. Because then you get into that and now they're in their 70s and 80s, all of that energy that they had and all of that excitement that they had and all that kind of stuff, they got a small little check and their lives are being trashed. The employees are being fired. The reputation is going in the tank, and they have to go back in and lift all of that back up with our help, obviously, but they have to lift all of that back up when they should have just been able to ride off into the sunset if they would have done some due diligence. If you never, ever hire us, if you never, ever see me in person, if you never come to one of my events, if you never watch another thing that I do, I will have given you the greatest gift as a business owner with 2 words: due diligence. Okay. I just saw a post from somebody I know damn good and well, has lawsuits, has never owned a home services business, has massive amounts of failure in their past, had 1, maybe 2 little business successes along the way and some branding and all that other kind of stuff. Literally do a post and say, anybody that's out there that has this type of business, I'm your dude, right? I'm your dude. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just know the people that get sucked into that are good people. Most business owners that have been able to run a business and be able to go through all of the bullshit of the taxes and the government. Nobody is your friend as a business owner. You have to fight back against everybody. This is a battle. This is a war. You have employees that you have to make sure you're keeping happy. You have, fake lawsuits. You have, decisions made by a government. A 9/11 happened. You have a COVID happen. You have all of this shit happen, and nobody has your back. And then you go through this horseshit, and somebody who's good at marketing is going to get you to sucker in and go, hey, I can buy your business and help you out. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay. Make sure you do due diligence. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Whew, gets me a little fired up. Okay. So again, 70% of mid-market businesses are boomer owned. PE firms are cash rich and hunting exits. That is true. They are rich. They are cash rich because a lot of people know they have figured out that investing in small and mid-sized businesses, that is a hell of an investment because the people are solid. The relationships are solid. They have not been able to screw people over like major corporations because our word is our bond. It's not like we could do things like Amazon or Microsoft and all it because we don't have lobbyists. We don't have billions of dollars behind us backing us. We have a cash flow somewhere between, we have 0 to 499 employees and we have a limited cash flow, and we have to deliver on what we say we're delivering. We have to manage the company properly because cash flow, if it goes away, we're out of business. That's what makes us worthy of investing in, because we adhere to principles, because we have no other choice. We have no other choice. We don't have big bunches of money that'll come in and rescue us. We can't, lobby Congress so that they come in and give us billions of dollars like they did the banks. We have to run our shit or we go out of business. And this decision is the end of that. It should be a crown on top of a well-lived life, a well-managed company, all of the sacrifices that you made for your family and time and energy and all of the other things. It should be a crowning moment for you to go, you know what? I built that business, I sold it, and now I've diversified my income, I've diversified my investments. Maybe I still work at that company, but I've now got other things that I'm doing, and you've taken good care of your family, and you met your end game. Right? You built your end game, you met it, and this should be the crown on top of it. But a lot of times, as you heard from Harvard Business Review, it doesn't happen. Are you a business owner running hard, burning out, and still not getting ahead? I'm Jason Sisneros, founder of Built to Exit. I've bought, built, fixed, exited over 24 companies of my own. I've helped hundreds of business owners do the same. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably didn't start your business to be trapped in it. And yet, here you are, overwhelmed, underpaid, drowning in noise from fake gurus and recycled advice. Been there. Built to Exit isn't just another course. It's not a magic bullet. It's a system, a proven blueprint built from real-world experience, not theory. We help owners control the 3 things that really matter in business: price, the timing, and the terms of your exit. Whether that means more cash in your pocket now, more freedom starting today, or a full-blown exit strategy that lets you walk away on your own terms, our team knows how to get you there. So if you're done guessing, done with the excuses, and Ready to win? Visit builttoexit.biz today to schedule your free 15-minute strategy call with a senior advisor. We'll show you exactly where the leaks are in your business and how to fix them, because everybody exits. How you exit is the only thing that really matters. Builttoexit.biz. We play to win. Do you? All right, cool. So, PE Playbook. Here we go. And remember this, because I like to remember. I love, again, the private equity firms, the people that are doing roll-ups, the people that are doing partnerships and mergers and acquisitions that know what they're doing. I love these people because they're so smart. They're so intelligent. They know exactly how. They're not in it to rip people off, right? They're not vulture capitalists anyway, I won't start naming names, but there's a difference. There's a difference. People that want to take an asset and make it better and make that long-term. I love these people. I love their hearts. I love their intellect because they're so good at what they do. Okay. But never, ever forget, as a business owner, they are set up to beat your ass. They're set up. Every word, every strategy, every smile, every compliment, every looking at the flaws in your business, looking at the holes and the gaps in your preparation, all those kind of things are meant to drive in your mind, the value down so they can pay less and make more as they fix it and flip it to the next owner. Okay. They have no emotional tie whatsoever. They have an outcome, and that outcome is to take that asset, make it better, and then sell it for more than they bought it for. That's the playbook. Now, but they're not in it. Every dollar that they can wipe off of that is more profit in their pocket later down. I want you, the business owner, to maintain and control as many of those as you possibly can, as much of that money as you possibly can. Okay, so multiple inflation, 10x promised and 3x delivered. Okay, this is business brokers, private equity firms. They'll tell you, especially this big group of assholes that doesn't know anything about what they're doing right now. They will promise you these massive numbers, and they will, 3x even. And as I say, we're giving them a lot of credit right now. Most of them won't deliver at all. The transaction won't ever go through. 7% of businesses listed ever sell. And of those 7%, you just heard Harvard Business Review say about 10% of those make it past that finish line. Okay. Milestone manipulation, unrealistic performance clauses. You got to look into the details with your attorneys and with your own eyes, by the way. Power shift, you're now an advisor without authority. Okay. Here's using the wrong playbook, right? We're going to give you an example. I like to use real world examples because then you don't have to take my word for it. You can go, Google or ChatGPT or whatever you're doing your research on these days and go look at these deals and break them apart and dig in. This is what I've done. I still do it to this day. I love it. It's like my hobby is to take deals, especially obscure deals from the past that really nobody's ever heard of. And I dive in and I say, okay, did this work? Was this a disaster? Was it like Revco is one of my favorites because it has all of the drama in it. Revco has a bad purchase and a bad broker and bankruptcy. And then a guy like me that comes in and does the turnaround and then a massive exit success story down the road. It has all of the drama in it. It's one of my favorite. That's why I talk about it so much. But this one, it was the wrong private equity playbook. They were acquired by Allianz Capital Partners in the 90s. They slashed R&D, right? R&D in this business is sort of important, if you ask me. So anyway, they cut the workforce and they sold off divisions. This is your typical people that don't know what they're doing, or they're criminal intent, or they're in it for the short term. And there is look, it's a way to make money. It's not a way to make money that I would be proud to do, nor would I ever participate in that type of behavior. Now, people make plenty of money at it. You can look at Bain Capital and see that there is a market for that. That's not conducive to the country that I know. It's not conducive to keeping people free economically through diversified wealth distribution through small and mid-sized businesses. It just doesn't go the way. It's not my heart. Like, is it a way to make money? Absolutely. Would I make money that way? Absolutely not. That's not my game. Product delay. So the result, talent drained from the company. This is happening in a company, like I said, 3 businesses that we're helping right now. Talent was drained, fired. They get tired of the bullshit. They leave, whatever. Product delays. The people are not delivering on the contracts. Next gen aircraft failed. Why? Because they cut the R&D, so therefore the next generation of the aircraft, they couldn't make any money. They started cutting into future revenue, blah, blah, blah. They shut down. Okay. Let me go back to that. The company shut down after all of the time, after all of that, the risk and the sacrifice and the success and the all of that stuff. It went out of business because they took the wrong direction. Now, let me give you 7 quick moves that you can utilize. Take notes on these so that you have them for yourself. 7 quick moves that you can make sure you own the control. Create the story before the buyer does. Super, super important that you have an architect. Okay, that's my nickname, but I mean anybody that will sit down with you and architect out what the end game is, what the story is of the business that is going to be crafted for your ideal buyer, right? You start with here, that person, that business, if they were to acquire me, I would love that. So you craft that story for that ideal buyer, and then it'll satisfy all of the levels below that, depending on how well you've got somebody to help you set up. You want to lead with positioning and potential. In our business, there's something at the end. There's 4 things that a private equity firm is going to be looking at to decide whether you're worthy of purchase in the first place. 1, we go much deeper into this in other sessions and obviously for our clients, but the first one is your relationship to the customer. That is the predictability of revenue and profits, okay? And about 30 to 40 different places that you got to get dialed in before you're optimized for that proper sale. 2 is transparency of reporting in your finances, your cash accounting, the way that you put your books, the way that it's put together. Is it transparent? Where are you hiding things? Do you have 3 sets of books? Do you have 4 sets of books? Like Enron, all of these different things. That's your financial transparency. Number 3 is a management team that, a continuity plan that does not include you as the owner. That's number 3. And number 4 is how you build your own multiple before somebody else tells you what your business is worth. And that is put together in your pro forma adjusted EBITDA. Okay. Not going to go deep into that, but that's how you lead with positioning and potential is your pro forma adjusted EBITDA, not just your EBITDA number, not just your owner adjusted EBITDA. It's a pro forma adjusted EBITDA, which means that you are looking into the future for your business, therefore for the future business owner. Number 2, set your non-negotiables. You've got to have these non-negotiables down. And here's the 3 areas: price, timing, terms. You want to get your low, you want to get your asking, and you want to get your moonshot if you could get it properly put together. We hit more moonshots than we do even just the adjusted, and we very, very rarely ever go down to the bottom line. And the only time we ever do that is when there's a timing pressure around the owner's health, relationships. There's some sort of a partnership falling apart, legal stuff that they're looking at down the road, whatever, right? But what is sacred to you? You've got to know that red line before the LOI even arrives, your letter of intent from the buyer. Number 3, demand multiple offers. Now, we say demand multiple offers here, but what I would suggest, the alternative is what we do on, with our brokerage on the B2X brokerage side is we don't demand it, we create it, right? We create multiple offers because we tell the story. We have a program for business owners that's a 52-week program that's called pre-due diligence. So think about that for a second. 52 weeks, we go and we polish this thing up. And in polishing it, about halfway through that program, what we start doing for our clients on the brokerage side is we start calling the ideal customer, and then the less ideal, and then the less ideal. So if I have 10 people that are throwing LOIs at us, and we're able to tell each one of those buyers, look, we have a feeding frenzy of about 10 people, that is nothing but good for you as the business owner. So demand is one that you can demand as many offers as you want to, but create is probably a word that I would replace this in this particular slide. Never deal with one buyer, because they're in the driver's seat. If you have one buyer, they're in the driver's seat. And don't lie to one buyer and tell them you have multiple offers. Transparency, you will always be found out for every lie you tell. That's why we go through the due diligence phase in 52 weeks, is because we want to make sure that every potential undiscovered fact is already dug out and we've already dealt with it, right? We don't deal with liars. We don't create lies. We don't create false demand. We don't do any of that. We tell the truth, and we make that truth as powerful as humanly possible, okay? Power move number 4, build a killer sell box. Now, a sell box, I don't know if this is, look, I came up with this term on my own. I didn't hear it from anybody else. Somebody else may have said it before me. It doesn't really matter. Every person that is a qualified buyer of your business has something that's called a buy box. And so knowing that everybody has a buy box, all I did was go back and say, okay, if everybody has a buy box, I'm going to build a sell box, right? And my sell box is going to be for that ideal buyer of my business, and they're going to match. That's it, right? That's it. I built a sell box. You organize your SOPs, your contracts, your financials. You look buyer ready from day one. It's worth all the time. Can you crunch that 52 weeks down? Absolutely. It depends on how quickly you want to do stuff, how much money you want to pay up front, et cetera, et cetera. But you've got to go through those steps if you want to optimize. Not just optimize pricing, timing, but the terms, right? The terms. Power move number 5, vet the buyer. I don't know. I probably did 10 minutes on this earlier. I don't need to go into it because it's an area that I think so many people would benefit from doing due diligence, not just in buying or selling your business, but anything. Like anytime you're buying somebody's program or you're getting ready to go to their stadium event or you're getting ready to whatever, just do some due diligence. If you have people that report success from doing business with them, you're pretty okay. Like the internet, sort of, I don't know, it's done a really great thing. There's a lot of bad things about the internet, but it's done a really good thing in that people that have really, really good reputations. And it's funny as I think about all of the referrals and the stuff, like you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see what I mean, but getting people to say something nice about you is like, it's such a difficult thing to do. People I had people tell me, to my face, oh my God, we ran across them in Hawaii and I'm having dinner with my family. And this person comes up to me and he goes, look, I'm here. And it was at one of the nicest hotels on Maui. And we're sitting there and he's like, oh my God, I sold my business and, I'm doing well. And I couldn't have done it without your dad, like talking to my kids. Right. And then I'm like, oh, I registered that. I was like, that was nice to hear. It was awesome for my kids to see that. And then for 4 months after that, I was like, hey, could you just go to LinkedIn? Is that still to this day? This was 4 years ago, guys. 4 years ago where I got that shower praise. So all I'm trying to say is that getting the good ones is very difficult. So if you go to somebody saying and they've got 1, 2, 3, 10, 15, whatever it is, positives, that means that there's probably a multiple of about 10 behind there that they've done as well. Now, if you go there and there's none, 1, 2, 3, whatever, and that's their cousin, their nephew, they're somebody that they obviously paid to say something nice about them, there's probably a multiple on the inverse side of how negative they've been in the marketplace, right? Just do your due diligence. That's all I'm saying. Talk to the companies that they've done business with, that they've acquired, and I said, like, we've got 10-year, I guess going on 15. God, I'm getting old. 15-year relationships with people that buy businesses. 6, negotiate more than the price. Look at the earnout terms. If they are successful, they do have a history of doing this. There's lots of ways that you can attach yourself to not just this sale, but the next sale and the next sale. And you can make money on that company after you've been gone from it for decades to come if you understand how to negotiate more than just that initial price. Okay. Consider equity rollover, roll timelines, etc. Power move number 7, let me go back to this. Do research on what these terms mean. I know I'm not going deep into them, but we don't have time for that today. Number 7, bring your own advisor. Get somebody that you trust. Do not negotiate alone. We highly suggest in our exit prep program, almost every video that I did, all 52 video training videos that I did for a business owner, all 52 of them, I say something along the lines of don't be your own deal captain. You're too close to it. You love your people too much. You love your business too much. You think that your baby is the most beautiful on the face of the planet. I don't blame you. I'm the same way. Even I have experience doing this for 2 decades now, right? And at the end of the day, I still think some of my ugly babies that I've built as a business were the most beautiful on the face of the planet. I am the wrong deal captain in my own deals. So you will most likely 99.9% of the time be the wrong deal captain for your own deals. Okay. Don't negotiate alone, and hire a strategist who's done this before. That's more of the same. Cool. So here's somebody that did it right. I like to get people that did it wrong, which we already went through. And then now I want to give you an example of something that you can dig into, research, and check into so you can see somebody who did it right. Houlihan Lokey, Independent Investment Bank. They built clean books, succession bench, scalable systems, built to exit. They grew through smart acquisitions and scaling. And they IPO'd in 2015. They retained cultural control, operational success. Why? Because the founder clarity, right? They were built to exit with a buyer-ready structure and growth strategy. If you don't understand, this is just a parting shot. Okay. So again, go dig into Houlihan and you'll see a well done, a well negotiated, a company that knew how to deal with private equity. Okay. And a parting thought is if you don't understand how PE works, you're going to be a victim of the deal. You're going to be a victim. And we don't want that, right? And we don't want that. I'm getting reports, just people that are watching the show for years. They're doing, there's a couple of phases, okay? I'll kind of wrap up with this. There's a couple of phases that happen in your business. Number 1, you got to do an assessment. Your very first move should not be to optimize your business. It shouldn't be to scale your business. It shouldn't be to start exit prep. It shouldn't be to go into due diligence. It shouldn't be to, to hire a broker even, or a consultant. It should be for you to be able to assess, maybe with the help of a professional, to just say, hey, where's my business? We do this through a system called valuation. Okay. Valuation, I did a video on it for those of you that don't have the money or the top line revenue to get an actual valuation. I did a video a few weeks ago called the 7 types of valuation. There's about 50, but I narrowed it down to the 7 that I'm most familiar with and that you will probably end up doing. Those of you that are watching, if you have a revenue of over $3 million, just reach out to us. First off, for everybody, we have a free assessment. It's coming up. If you want to go to builttoexit.biz, I'm just going to look at the date. There is exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 5 more days that the assessment that we have on the front of builttoexit.biz for it to be free. After that, it's going to be behind a paywall. Not going to be, too much money, but it is going to definitely be some some do re mi on that page. So go there, take it. It's free. You get there's a couple of things that comes along with it. You get a report of where you are with your business. And you also have the ability to talk to one of my strategists for 30 minutes. It always goes an hour, by the way. It's never 30 minutes, but 30 minutes on where you are and what you can do to improve. And that is all free. It's all on me. But after, again, August 1st, it's going to be behind a paywall. You're going to have to pay something for it. So go there and do that. Now, if you have 3 million and above, you could reach out to us and we'll do a $25,000 valuation on your business free. And let you know kind of where you are, give you some ideas on what you should be doing, point you in the right direction, even if that direction isn't us to help you, because that's not what we're in this. We know exactly who our 600 clients are at Built to Exit. And more importantly, we know exactly who is not our client. So we do have other people that we can refer you to if we don't fit helping you at the highest level. We are not a all things to everyone organization. So just to let you know that. But I like this show to help every damn person, all 33 million of you rebel, crazy ass people calling yourself a business owner that has DNA that can be traced back to all the merchants that make the entire world, this computer that you're watching, the internet that was created, the lighting that we're underneath, the heating, the cooling, the buildings, all of that was built. Everything that we live under was built by a merchant somewhere throughout history and still is being held up by those of us that call ourselves business owners. Less than 10% of the entire planet, all 8 billion of us, less than 10% of us have the DNA of a merchant. You're all crazy. You're all rebels. I love you all because I'm one of you. And this is the place for you to hang out. Now, remember, we're about to wrap this up. Just get your little thumbs ready or get your computer ready or whatever to go over to X and find me at the J Sisneros. And then you'll see here in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, you'll see pop up B2X After Party. Jump in, have a conversation, tell us about your business, let us know who you are, and we want to really, really help you. I've got a lot of speaking engagements that are coming up that if you want to come and see me live, come give me a high five, come give me a hug, however you are. Would love to see you. I got a bunch of podcasts. I've got some TV that we're doing. So all of the attention that y'all are giving us, thank you. This doesn't grow. This doesn't impact lives. Those of you know, we're very involved in anti-trafficking of children, domestic violence, feeding people. All of this is to keep our business community alive and vibrant, because that's where the tax base comes from. That's where the future comes from. That's where opportunity comes from. That's where innovation comes from. That's where our very freedom comes from, is that this decentralized idea of us owning our own businesses and having to beat our own demons day after day after day to become good servants, that then in good servantship, we end up making a profit. And with that profit, we do the best we can with our talents, right? That is who we are. You are my family. I am your family. We need to hang out together. We need to spend more time together, and we need to be there for each other more than we have in the past. Because if we go away, the world is a very shitty place for our kids and for us if we still live in it when they take away small and mid-sized companies and entrepreneurship and merchantship, all those kind of things. So very passionate about this family, very passionate about you. Get over to at the J Sisneros on X. Come and say hi and share this show to people. Make sure you get it into the hands of people that have home services businesses, to make sure that they're protected and to make sure that they're guarding themselves. I'm telling you, this show right here that we just did will allow them to think through. There's going to be people that comment on here that we've helped sell their business. We're in the process of helping sell their business, that have been screwed over by people that are these jokers who have never helped a roofing company or a HVAC company or any of those companies that are with us now that have even more tremendous loyalty to being with us. And there's going to be a lot of times that we're going to be together in person in Texas. We're going to be in Houston. We're going to be in Austin. We're going to be Puerto Rico. We're going to be in North Carolina. We're going to be all over the place. So I can't wait to meet you in person. Share this show. Protect your brothers and sisters that own businesses. And we'll see you over at Twitter. And if I don't see you there, we'll see you next Saturday, because I do this every single Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time live. Love y'all. Much respect to my family, to my business owner family. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Peace.